I want to talk about this touchdown pass by Jaxson Dart during last year's Peach Bowl against Penn State. And the reason for that is because this is a great example of a common coaching point of throwing to a space that's being vacated by the defense due to a blitzing player. So we're going to get into the film. We're going to talk about what's happening with both of these teams on this play right now. So I've gone back to the start of the All-22 film, and as you can see on the scoreboard, it's 3rd and 9 for Ole Miss on Penn State's 14-yard line with 4:14 left in the third quarter. And I'm going to run the film a little bit forward so that you can see. This is the look that Ole Miss initially comes out. Remember, Ole Miss does a lot of hurry up, so they're going to line up. They're going to see what Penn State does and then adjust from there. And what they first get a look at is basically Penn State has 7 defenders walked up. Also notice that at the beginning of this look by Ole Miss, the way they're initially lined up, Quinshon Judkins is lined up to Jaxson Dart's right at the same depth. What I think happened is Lane Kiffin, he is seeing, and this is based on my experience and all these sorts of things, is Lane Kiffin, he'd been watching film, he knows on film, based on all the things they'd seen Penn State do, that this is probably a blitz coming, it's going to be a zero-high look, and so he is going to make this audible with Jaxson Dart to send and have Quinshon Judkins be a free release out in up the middle of the field. So let me go ahead, forward the play. You can see everybody's making their adjustments based on the audible. And right here, Judkins is now a yard up in the backfield. He's no longer at the same depth as Dart. He is now up a yard. He's still to Dart's right, but he has moved up a yard. Generally speaking, when Ole Miss is in this particular look, with the running backs being a yard up in front of Jaxson Dart in terms of depth in the backfield, it's generally been a pass. Sometimes it's a run, but generally speaking, it is a pass. And to me, this means that Judkins is the primary receiver now on this play. He's just going to free release up the middle, as you saw. Might get a look down here if we've got a favorable matchup. But based on everything that's looking like, it looks like Penn State is in man coverage with all these receivers. And you're having the receivers kind of widen away from where Judkins is going to be running his route, because you're trying to influence the secondary of Penn State here. So we've got man coverage across, and Judkins is going to be a matchup problem for Penn State. Their linebackers are not as fast as Judkins, and so to Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, this is the perfect matchup, because even if a backer does run and has Judkins in man coverage, you can just put it over the top because it's going to be man coverage. They're not going to be able to keep up with Judkins as he's running up the field. And even if they do drop into a zone, you can still throw the seam because Judkins has moved up a yard. He's going to be able to get out into the route faster, and he's fast enough to cause real problems. So as we saw, we do have the play run. And the reason I say that I think that Judkins is the primary receiver on this play is no one up top really runs a route. That's not really a route that's telling me that, hey, yeah, we're going to try and get a first down here. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm going into my route. So to them, they're already thinking, hey, it's just going to Judkins. It's just going to the offense's right, not to the offense's left. They're just not really running great routes. What happens with Penn State? Well, I'm hoping, and maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think that there's supposed to be a free release of the back and no one runs with them. Generally speaking, when teams are sending blitzers, as Penn State is, one of the backers is going to break off. Generally speaking, if the back is to your side, right here we've got Rojas and we've got DeLuca. Generally speaking, you might have one of the backers that's to the side of the running back. They will break off their blitz and then go into the coverage. Now, maybe it was supposed to be King right here who was supposed to drop off into coverage on the running back if it's a free release. But I believe it's one of the two. And so if Judkins had been to the offense's left, defense's right, then it probably would have been DeLuca or King that was supposed to go with the back. But for whatever reason, that doesn't happen. Now, I will say this. Remember, Penn State at this point in the game is also managing the minutes of some of their other players, the ones that didn't opt out. So some of the starters are not in the game. So this blitz may have been called, but two of the guys that are running it are basically like sophomore and a freshman. So maybe not as much game experience, and that's what leads to this mistake. Regardless, they allow running back to have a free release up the middle, right where no one is due to them blitzing, and that's why I say this is a common coaching point of throwing into the blitz, replacing on the blitz. You're basically throwing to a receiver in the space that's been vacated, right? You might free release the back out, and you've got a blitzer from the corner coming, so no one's covering the flat, and you're just going to throw it right there to the back to replace. And you've heard that talked about even in the NFL. In the conference championship game, you saw the Chiefs do it with Travis Kelce, who got about 8 yards just before the end of the first half against the Ravens. They replaced, the blitz came from the Ravens, and it was replaced. I made a video about it, but they replaced on the throw, basically with Travis Kelce, where the blitz was coming from. And this is a great example of it as well. So one more thing that I do want to talk about with regards to this play. I'm not a big fan of what the right tackle is doing for Ole Miss. Generally speaking, if you're going to just have 5 guys blocking, you want to work inside out with your pass pro. Would have preferred him to go here. Instead, he's going to work out to Rojas, but he really probably should be blocking the end because everybody else on the offensive line is blocking inside out. We're going to let DeLuca out here be the free runner. And the reason you want to work inside out is because it's furthest to the quarterback from the outside, not from the inside. Don't want to let any free runners from the inside because that's the shortest distance to the quarterback. So you want to make them be rushing from further out. You're going to watch the eyes of Jaxson Dart on this play, and he's basically hot reading DeLuca right here. He knows that he's got DeLuca as the hot route, as the read for he's coming free, so I've got to make my read quick. He's going to catch a snap. He sees that DeLuca is coming. Now he's going to drop. He knows that he's got his back free, touchdown. And he's just going to throw it to him easy for the touchdown right there. Let's watch it again. And this is why I say you generally want to make the backers go from the wide. Almost get there, but just a half second too slow. Good job by Jaxson Dart also drifting backward. Drifting back so that his eyes can see.
Just one.
Creating space, creating that distance, and then just replacing with the throw. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hopefully you learned a little bit more with regards to what happens in a game, how important film study is. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. If you enjoyed this type of content, please make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time, though. Have a great day. I do want to recognize the members of this channel at the booster level and above for their support. If you wish to have your name in a video just like this, make sure to check out the join link in the description below. Here on the end screen, you can see that there's another recommended video. Make sure to click that and watch it. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future breakdown videos. I hope you have a great rest of the day.